So Bobby Martins is one of our real estate elite. He's out of Carmel Valley, but he and his team, they cover the entire San Diego marketplace. He's really niched right now in being a move-up buying specialist. But, as we've learned from Bobby, he also can help people move. He can do anything. I don't want to pigeonhole you to just help people move up, but you tend to be the best at it in that niche. But you also do a lot of other things as well. So good to have you in here. You and I haven't spoken in a while. I feel like we've been in constant communication, and it's probably because of his Facebook page.
Right.
All right, man. We get it.
I live vicariously through him, and then he puts on there that he got a hole-in-one, wins a Lexus, wins a golf tournament up at Pebble Beach, and I'm like, oh, this guy is by far my idol.
I was like, Bobby, all right, I get it. You're watching another sunset on a golf course.
Yeah, with his beautiful wife and two beautiful children. I'm like, God.
All right, this guy.
Dang it, man. What a star.
Did you win,
you guys
Alexis?
Too much. No, of course not. Steve's full of it.
Did you get a trophy?
You should snap at him more often. He's making up lies over here.
Oh, man, he's on Facebook saying he did. Now, of course, I'm gullible to the fact that he did. But anyway, Bobby.
You got to pick up on the sarcasm.
It looked like you were having fun.
Yeah, no,
he's a good guy to friend on Facebook because he's always dropping good real estate information on there as well.
Yep.
I don't know, sometimes it'd probably be hard to find a Bobby Martins because there's probably a lot of you.
No, there's only one of a kind.
Oh, well, that was an obvious response.
You'll know if there's another one.
If anyone goes to my
San
page,
Diego.
if anyone goes to my page, they'll see that I'm friends with Bobby. Good guy to join up with. You can probably do it from your phone right now. So real estate, a lot happening. Today we had new home sales were up huge. Mortgage applications down huge. So that's a conflict. But
December.
These are national numbers, right? So who cares about that? Let's talk about San Diego. What's happening in San Diego?
Well, I'm excited. I see that the market right now, in the last week or two, all of a sudden,
are you excited because of the market or because your team is absolutely crushing it right now?
Both.
Okay, so Bobby Martins comes in here. He's like, "Yeah, I did 4 listings yesterday. A new buyer went into escrow. He's doing a lot of business.
It's what he does.
Go ahead."
Well, as I said, the markets definitely seem to be picking back up. We're getting calls. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, we want to sell our house in the new year. We want to buy a house in the new year." So. Obviously with the rates might go up a little bit, that might slow things down just a hair, or
speed them up.
I really don't think it's going to do anything. I think the next 6 months are going to do exactly what the first 6 months of last year did, which was just absolutely go crazy.
I agree with you. I agree. I think the first quarter, at least 6 months, I'm not sure, but a quarter, the first 3 months of the year, I think we think you will see a spur of activity.
Yep.
Because you have a lot of people makes sense. Rates are low. Prices are going up. It's just the way that it's timed into the end of the year. Now inventory makes a little more sense. I bet you get a flurry of buyers.
What's going to slow it down?
And a flurry of sellers. People are like, all right, it's time.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is why you need guys like Bobby navigate this thing.
Look at the last 100 years. The spring market's always busy in San Diego.
I can barely remember the last couple of years. How are you making me go back a century?
It's just,
yesterday?
It's just the way it is. And we were analyzing some of the numbers too, and for the first time in about 5 months, listing counts actually went down. So
what does that mean?
It's a reversal. So it means that people are taking their houses off the market and getting ready for the new year. So a lot of people will probably put it on in the new year. And looking back 12 months.
They were on the market and they're taking it off the market.
They're taking it off the market. So December, a lot of people are pulling the houses from the market.
Just to take a month off because of the holidays?
Because they overshot, I bet, right?
Okay.
Because they overshot the market and they didn't price it correctly, or maybe they didn't prepare the house correctly, because that makes a huge difference too.
Totally.
It's not real estate agents always say, well, if your house didn't sell, it was the price. It's not always just the price. It could be marketing, or it could be preparation and staging of the house.
Good point.
So you got to do all of those things correctly.
Well, the market got so hot, I would tend to think that a lot of these sellers said, well, geez, if we can get this much out of our house, it does make sense to list this property, see what we can get, be a move-up buyer, as Bobby helps a lot of people with.
Yep.
But they overshot it now, and what happens? The property goes stale. And so they're like, get it off, and we'll try it again after the new year. Is that what you think is going to happen?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what happened. So May, June, people were saying, God, you know what? I want to sell my house.
Yes.
They look at the last 6 months of sales, and they go, well, things are appreciating at 1% to 2% a month. Let's go ahead and price it a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if we can capture that price. However, what the agents didn't tell them is that July, August, September hit, the market slows down, and you're not going to see that appreciation growth. So most of the appreciation growth is going to be in that first half of the year. So basically what they should have done is priced it where the other ones sold, and they probably would have sold it.
True or not true, Steve? You see the kind of psychology of the market and the way sellers behave.
Right.
And you get guys like Bobby and some of our other elite come in here, and they always kind of say what's going to happen. Doesn't it feel like when they then come in and they're like talking about what's going to happen, but we also reflect on what's happened, how the market catches up to what these guys say?
Right.
Does that even make a bit of sense?
Absolutely.
All these guys do this.
And he's a professional. He's professional enough to let you know that he understands what the other guys are doing. I understand that you're being told that in the next 3 months and you want to capitalize on that. But what you're not hearing is this. And that's what I got on.
See, I would think your job would be very difficult. And here's why. One, the San Diego marketplace is incredibly volatile.
Yep.
Two, the news is so inaccurate, and that's where people get their information from. Three, now you have social medias, which make things even crazier and more misinformed. I'm going to go back to number one and call it four, which is the volatility of San Diego. So when you have a marketplace that is making decisions based upon what they're seeing now in the news, which is 60 to 90 days off, it would seem very difficult to me to tell people the truth. For example, we just talked about listings.
Right.
Your home isn't worth that much. Well, first of all, I'm insulted. It's worth that much and more.
Right.
Two, like you said, if prices are going up this much and my neighbor's home sold for this much and they got this many offers, I'm going to get this much. I imagine your quote-unquote competition, Bobby, would say, oh, I can get you that for your home.
Sure, they are.
So a lot of these homes are coming off the market now and being like, maybe not.
Right.
How do you do that from a professional standpoint? How do you shoot people straight without, losing to the competition because they don't necessarily do that?
I try to actually focus on showing the clients the marketing structure of what we're going to do to market their home, and then the communication structure of what we're going to do to communicate with them through the process, and then also show them track record of our negotiation skills. Because what we don't want to do is have it be have the client say, I want to pick the guy who tells me the most amount of money, and that's what a lot of people do sometimes. They'll go ahead and they'll talk to that guy who said that they can get $1 million for a $900,000 house.
Yeah.
Well, I tell clients that unless that agent is the buyer, there's no way that he can say that. And so by picking an agent based on what they tell you for a price is a huge disservice. I mean, the way I look at it is a partnership. I mean, if we want, ultimately, if a client wants to price their house a little high, I'll do that. However, we have to have a plan in place.
With the proper expectations.
Proper expectation. We have to have a plan in place. And there's things that we do, like at the open houses, we'll actually put surveys together and have the buyers that walk through do a little contest to see what they think the house is worth. And we do the same thing for caravans as well. So all the agents coming in through the agent caravans, we'll have them sign a little piece of paper, and we'll do a drawing, so that way there's an incentive to them to actually fill it out and try and
Torrey Pines Transportation
pick a
could
price.
step in right there.
Absolutely.
You need to align with them. They'll give it out. They'll give anyone.
No, that's a good focus group that you obviously are working with the best, and they're coming in, they're giving you a good idea.
One thing you said that I hung on to there was how you're going to market the property. What are some of the good strategies that people can know going into 2014 on if they are going to list their home, how to get top dollar? Yeah, I mean, you also want to help them get top dollar. It's not like you want to be the example of the $1 million down to $900,000. You want to find that high price point. Well, marketing is a big piece of that. Mm-hmm. So what are strategies there in 2014?
Besides maybe talking about it a little bit on the radio and showing it on TV.
That probably doesn't hurt.
All right.
Do you got any good listings we can talk about?
Absolutely. Well, first off, the average realtor, they are good at negotiations and good at the realtor side of the business, but they may not be very good at the marketing side. And so hire an agent who has a marketing team.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 full-time marketing people.
Sure.
Bobby's Angels.
Yeah.
Bobby's Angels. And
Love them.
They do an amazing job. And so what we do is we have a meeting. We talk about the listing, and we talk about who the potential buyers are for that particular property. And then we do target marketing to those specific buyers. So that's important.
I hate to say this. I just want to interject. If the agent you're working with doesn't have a team, that's a problem.
Great point.
That means they can't afford the team, and they can't afford the team because they don't.
They don't have the time.
They don't produce.
Yeah, they don't have the time to give it.
And so, God, I lost my train of thought there. The other thing
marketing.
Is, so staging the house properly. So you don't have to go out and hire a staging company or anything like that. However, you should have an interior decorator walk through the house with you. And this is something we offer free of charge with our clients. We just basically, we throw it in. We have them walk through the house, and that actually takes a lot of pressure off of me. So I don't have to tell them, hey, by the way, you might want to get rid of this couch that
Right.
is old and ratty. So
Buster would be sitting on there. He'd be like, "What?
You might have to take him for a walk during
Yeah,
the,
you're gonna, Buster.
Exactly.
You're gonna need to go for a walk.
going over to Uncle Spider's house.
So the key to top dollar is you got to have a house that is presented properly. And so if it's not done correctly, it's going to cost you money in the end.
Bobby, you got any good listings people need to know about? I know they can go to moveupsandiego.com, but you got anything
So
cool going on?
I just took one yesterday that is down in Hillcrest. It is a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. We've got it priced at $750 to $800, and it's
Nice.
on a canyon. There's nothing out there remotely close.
I haven't even heard of anything like that in
Yeah,
Hillcrest.
no kidding.
It's a
great buy.
It's a great buy, and it's
4
a
bedrooms.
huge lot. It needs some work, but if a contractor or an architect who's looking to do some type of rebuild or a project, it could be $1.5 million house.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, go to moveupsandiego.com. Bobby's phone number is right there at the top of the website if you need any real estate information. I'll give it to you real quick. 858-204-7259, 204-7259, or again, moveupsandiego.com. Bobby Martin.